Have you ever wondered why we started creating videos in the first place? Well, by the end of this video, you will know exactly why. My name is Carmen.
And I'm Darius. And the why is the most important thing that not only that we want to share with you, but what you should be asking yourself. Why do you do the things that you do? Well, before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we post new videos.
I like how you started with the why. And the why, honestly, for Darius and I was twofold. We are so passionate about the information that we have to share on this channel. And then two, we needed to get in front of more people because we recognized that with our small community, we were so passionate about whole life insurance and what it can bring to families all over the country. And we just needed a larger platform, honestly. And once we got introduced to YouTube, we just recognized that the sky was the limit as far as how we could grow and being able to share the message that we have. But with that, I would say that the deeper meaning behind why we got started too was we just recognized that there's too many people in financial turmoil. And that was us for a long period of time until we just started reading books and listening to podcasts and recognizing that this information is accessible for you to be successful with your money. You just have to want it. And we wanted to be more successful than money than continuing to be in the rat race, because we just recognized that we didn't want that for our lives, and we wanted to be able to do more and see more and just be better people.
Right. I go back to my experience of getting to the point to where we hit play on our first video.
Yeah.
The reason behind it is it was bigger than us. It was all the experiences that I've had up until that point. It was all the experiences I had with going to the grocery store or going to buy new school clothes or thinking about investments that I've never done before or never experienced or even had the conversation about. The new conversations that we were having with people who had experience in those different avenues of investing and making money and creating cash flow and being the patriarch of their family and steering their family in the right direction. It was all those things that made me want to press play for the very first time or press record for the very first time, because those were conversations that I'm privy to at that point, but I wasn't the 30 years prior.
Yeah, I get that. And essentially what it sounds like you're talking about is your programming, everything that you've seen, everything that you've experienced, and you know that other people have probably seen and experienced similar things. But how do you get those people out of the rat race? How do you get those people out of their routines and out of their programming just to be able to help people create freedom? And so what we wanted to share in this video is essentially our 5 pillars, which you actually see us wearing on our shirts, but I don't think we've ever taken the time to just explain what they mean. So the very first pillar is wealth as a mindset. And the point of this pillar is because we want to make sure that money can be less intimidating and it can be something that everyone starts studying and practices from a different perspective than what we may be taught from an institutional level. And the reason why it's so important for us to tackle the concept of wealth and financial freedom and everything is because we deal with money every single day. The reason why we have clothes on our backs or are able to eat food is because of the value that we place on it when we exchange money. So if we can open our mindsets to be able to absorb some more financial knowledge and be able to think about money from a different perspective, then it's going to completely change how you transact money in the future. But if you have old programming that may not serve you, and you don't address it, that's just going to continue into your life, into adulthood, if you don't address it or are even made aware of it. So that's why, again, for us, we're always talking about mindset on this channel, just again to challenge you to think about money differently than maybe what you've been taught.
Right, because the idea is that you change your mind, you change your life, right? And so for most of my life, it's been the outside in approach rather than the inside out, meaning that life happens to me rather than me happening to life. And when you change that theory behind money rather than I have to go out and make money and do these things for money and reverse your mind as to money comes to me, it becomes more fun and it becomes less intimidating. But it starts with the way we think. Our thoughts create our reality. And if we can start there with our understanding, or at least what we want to learn about money, we can move forward differently. And that's what happened for us. Is once we got a different understanding of money and how wealthy people looked at money and had those conversations, and they actually sat us down and mentored us on the way we thought, things change for us. And what we want to do through our platform and through Wealth Nation is we want to help 1 million families. We want to help them change their thinking behind money, because it's something that you create rather than something that happens to you.
Absolutely. So the second pillar is take ownership. I happen to be wearing that shirt. And take ownership to us is, once you understand that wealth is a mindset, then we move to take ownership, which is you actually doing something about your financial trajectory in life. So is that budgeting smarter? Is that watching how you're transacting your money? What are you doing to actually take ownership so that you can put yourself in a better financial position? And that's really what I would say take ownership is about, is the starting blocks, right? Okay, like dusting yourself off. All right, let's get going. Let's get in that bank account and figure out how can we start making this money move better and more efficiently for us.
Yeah, taking ownership is practicing getting organized so that you can make the right decisions over and over again, so you can build that muscle memory. That's what taking ownership is, in my opinion. Yeah. And you can't take ownership if you don't understand where you are and where you're trying to go. And if you're not organized, a lot of things, just weird things happen when you're not organized.
And also, too, I was thinking about it as you were speaking, take ownership is also important, because what we at least like to practice is there's no such thing as a victim. So if you can't take ownership, if you're going to play the victim role, and you will always be in financial turmoil if you always play the victim role where, oh, I can never make enough money. I can never catch a break. I can never this and that. So if you decide to change that mindset and then take ownership, that's going to change your life. Like we said, change your mind, change your life.
Right. Taking ownership, you don't misunderstand adversity as opportunity rather than setbacks. You feel me?
Did you say that? Say that again. You don't misunderstand opportunities as setbacks.
Yes.
You see them as what?
You see them as opportunities. You don't misunderstand setbacks or adversity as something that happened to you, something that, well, it is something that happened to you, but it's something that happened for you, because we make the most pivotal moments in everybody's life is when something was going wrong. And what they learn from that experience. So if something happened to you financially, it's your opportunity to say something good is about to happen next. Because if you haven't learned from it, then there's going to be another wake up call until you do something different. Right.
Yeah. Are you snoozing the alarm clock, or are you deciding to wake up and do something about it?
Right. So until you take ownership, you won't be able to move on to the next step or the next pillar.
Amen to that. So the third pillar is cash flow creator. And so for us, again, the trickle down effect, right? So wealth is a mindset. You take ownership, then all of a sudden cash starts to show up because you've changed your mindset, or in the process of changing your mindset, because that's always going to be a constant thing. You are getting organized. And then once you get organized, you recognize that, wait, I may have a little bit more income available because I was spending it frivolously here, or maybe I just need to reorganize it here or plan better here. And then all of a sudden you start recognizing the opportunities that you have to either save more of your income, invest more, or see whatever opportunities come your way. So that's where we feel like the cash flow creator part really comes into play, where we're just going, okay, now that I have my ducks in a row, as I say a lot, that's my that's my term. Now we can move forward and start using this cash so that we can do something about it.
Yeah, the whole point of getting organized is to make sure that you save money, but that's not just the end goal to save money, it's to do something with it. And creating cash flow or becoming a cash flow creator means that you're taking your savings that you've identified because you're more organized. You're taking your savings and you're doing something with it to make more money, because the whole point of money isn't for you to work hard for it. It's for it to work hard for you. And when we start,
that's a mindset.
When
shift.
we start understanding that, we do something differently with our lives and ourselves and our time, because we can always make money. We can always get money because it is constantly being printed. It's constantly being created out of thin air. But what's not being created out of thin air is time. And who knows what tomorrow has in store for us. Regardless of how much time we have, there'll always be money available.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But not the other way around. And when we start using the tool of money to buy time, meaning having our money work for us, that's one less thing that we have to worry about, so we can focus on the creation or the mindset behind the creating money in the first place.
Absolutely. And then the next step to that is creating money is, what are you going to do with that money? So what we call the next pillar is own your own debt. And that could be own your own debt or own others' debt. Other people's debt. Others' debt?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't sound right. But the point that I want you all to recognize is, when Darius and I had this mindset shift that everything is debt, I hope you hear me when I say that, it just changed our perspective. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lender and a lendee. Somebody needs money, somebody got to pay money. Think of your utilities. At the end of the day, you have to pay money to somebody, right? Something is owed. You have dues owed. Any expense that you have, consider it debt, because it's money that's coming out of your pocket. So you have to understand the world that we live in and the financial game that we are playing every single day, to reorganize your expenses in a way where it makes sense for you to make money from everything that you do. So that's why we talk about own your own debt, is figure out how much money you are spending, how much money is leaving your household, and trying to figure out how to get all of that money back. And that's what we talk about on the Wealth Nation channel, which is creating your own banking system so that you can keep more of your income every single year.
Right. Because the idea, every transaction of money, meaning that we're paying somebody or vice versa, it's the opportunity for us to make money.
Yeah.
Anytime money comes out of our pocket and go in any direction, no matter what we're paying or spending the money on, it's an opportunity for us to realize that money can come back to us the exact same way, because it's motion. If there's a motion out, there should be a motion in. Mm-hmm. And we can do that when we realize the positions that we hold in our lives. Like, we're at the top of the food chain, regardless of what Elon Musk is doing, regardless of what Warren Buffett's doing, Jeff Bezos,
the stock market,
yeah. Mm-hmm. The banks, regardless of what's going on in the outer world, what's going on with us is the most important. And for us to realize that we are the creators of our own lives, then we can make sure that what's happening is supposed to happen, and it's because we're deciding that it's happening. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're making the decision, and again, not falling back into
life happening to us.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, again, going back to the whole mindset thing, which is why I said this is going to be a forever situation where you're always learning, you're always growing, and your mindset is going to continue to expand, because even these 4 pillars that we've just gone through right now, you see there's levels to them. Mm-hmm. And we had to get through all of these levels in order to get where we are today, to just understand how to be better, not only personally and professionally, but financially as well, because it's all a business.
Right, and it's all connected. And I like to say that it's all a business. Even our relationship is a business. Yeah. We're married and we maintain a household. Mm-hmm. We maintain our household like a business, mm-hmm. because just like a business, we have money in the bank and we have expenses that we have to take care of. Mm-hmm. And we have to make sure we have enough money in the bank to take care of those expenses. Say something happens. Mm-hmm. It's no different than any business.
Yeah. It's like we've said in a previous video, especially for couples out there, right? You know, you have to go into this thinking about the roles that we want to play, taking ownership of those roles, and supporting the team at every given point with, you know, wherever you need to be. So right. that's how we tend to think about things. Not to think that it's just so black and white, because it's not. But when you have a greater respect for, I would say, the process, marriage, and how everything flows, then again, your mind just changes, because it becomes less about blaming or what somebody can do better, and it just becomes a team environment, I would say.
Right. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yeah. And I think the cheat sheet for us is the fact that we have one goal, and that's to go forward, move forward. Now, we do have our disagreements. Mm-hmm. Often we have disagreements, because I do things a certain way and Carmen does things a certain way, but we realize that in that is an opportunity for us to realize that it works that way. It works best that way. If we lean into our differences and allow that person to move forward the best way they know how, and I can move forward the best way I know how, then we can use that to move us forward faster.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's growth. We've come a long way.
We had a lot of help.
Yeah. Because like, again, it becomes less about ego and like, okay, who is better equipped for this opportunity, right? And same thing for couples out there, when you're thinking about this financial situation, maybe if you're even single, by yourself and you're stuck at a certain point, absolutely lean into those around you, because there may be somebody, right in your speed dial that can help you get to the next point because of just how they think about things, and they can open your mind and help you expand to capturing more opportunities.
And most of the time it's somebody in your contacts.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's somebody in your contacts waiting for you to have that epiphany of the fact that you can be better, not just for you, but for everybody around you.
Absolutely.
Are you looking for a life insurance policy specifically designed to help you accomplish your financial goals?
And if you have a policy, or if you're looking for more education, would you like to be a part of a community with like-minded individuals who are all using life insurance to accomplish their financial goals? If so, click on the link below. We would love for you to join the Wealth Nation Money School. And our last pillar, own your own lifestyle, folks. We sign every video off with this, and we actually were trying to find like a catchy phrase that we could use when we first started our YouTube channel, and a friend actually recommended own your own lifestyle to us, and we were like, that's so dope. That's exactly what we're trying to do, because we kept explaining our processes and what we're trying to do, and he was like, well, that just sounds like you're trying to own your own lifestyle. If you want to own everything, then just own your lifestyle. And I was like, yes, that's it. And I would say as we've grown, we've recognized that own your own lifestyle isn't just a financial catchphrase. Own your own lifestyle should be for everything. It should be for your health. It should be for your wealth and your happiness, because as you are able to create more cash flow for your lives, as you're able to take over more and more debts and really start to invest so that you can change your financial future, that's just going to allow you to create whatever freedom looks like for you. And that's why own your own lifestyle is so important for us to continue to share and for us to preach to our Wealth Nation fam, because regardless if you're getting a life insurance policy through us or someone else, you have to own the process every step of the way. You can't expect someone else to own it for you. You have to take the ownership, and you have to make your life work for you.
Right. And the reason you mentioned life insurance, the reason why life insurance is at the foundation of everything that we do on this channel as it relates to finances, because it's at the foundation of everything that you do. You don't realize it, but everything that you do comes from life insurance. They're the hidden partner of the bank. And the reason why I say that is, if there's any financial problem in this country, insurance is going to be the one that gets that fixes the problem, right? No matter what you do, you need insurance. You need insurance for your cell phone, your house, your car, everything. You need life insurance, or you need insurance for. So the backbone of this country is insurance. So why not do the same thing for yourself? When it comes to mindset, what you start to realize, and once you start to organize yourself, you have time to really understand things for the way it should be understood. And it allows you to move those blinders out so that you can see things a little more clear. And one thing that we understood is, you don't recreate something that's already created right the first place. If you want to make money, follow the money. If you want to make money, follow the money. And if we follow in the money, we know that this country is ran by three different entities. It's the market, insurance, and banks. And if both the three of these foundational systems are together and working, we should be participating the exact same way. So we're not saying to buy life insurance just because we can earn a commission. We say buy life insurance because we buy life insurance, and we use our life insurance to invest in the market. We use our life insurance to invest in real estate, because if there's a layer of protection for this country, then it should be a layer of protection for us. We're not telling you anything that isn't happening already anyway. Yeah. We're just shedding light on it.
And I think the other thing too is, once you've understood this whole perspective of just life in general, then you recognize, like, what am I living my life for anyway? And why am I not insured? Because in my perspective, there ain't enough insurance to cover my life, because I know how much value I bring, not only to myself, but to my family. And so you always want to make sure at the end of the day that if you have insurance on your cars and your houses and your things, that you need insurance on your life, because you're not going going to be able to have anything, or your family isn't going to be able to have anything if you don't have insurance on your life to ensure that your income can be sustained. And the whole point is, like we said, leveling up, going through these pillars and everything that we talk about to make sure that you have coverage, because you just never know what's going to happen.
Right. So the 5 pillars are: wealth is a mindset, take ownership, cash flow creator, own your own debt, and own your own lifestyle. Once you have these, make sure you want to master it. Make sure you master it after you have it. And the way you master it is by teaching it to somebody else. Teach it to other people so that we can everybody in your circle can come up together. Because again, it's our responsibility for the next generation to have the information that we didn't have for ourselves. Mm-hmm. And in order for us to be able to arrive where we want to arrive, we have to make it simple. And we make it simple by teaching.
Absolutely. And going back to how we started this video, which why we created videos in the first place, is to pass this knowledge on. So do us a favor, give us a like for this video, go ahead and comment and let us know if you are going to pay it forward. That's what I want to see in the comments. Pay it forward by sharing this financial knowledge.
Right. And when it comes to organizing your finances, check out our next video where we talk about how we manage our funds using the 50-30-20 rule.
And don't forget to own your own lifestyle.
Or someone else will.